I liken running a lot to recovery. While you can have great support system, I'm out there on my own. At the end of the day, it's me that has to do the work.
It has been a road, getting to nearly 3 years of sobriety. Ali Garber slid into addiction before she could climb out, before she could walk, let alone run.
That glass of wine turned into 3, it turned into 4. My 5 o'clock starting time started to creep earlier towards 4 p.m. And as this escalated, I wasn't able to compartmentalize my problem very well anymore.
Garber battles anxiety. She also runs a communications business in Halifax and is a mother of 2.
There we go, so we're all set up.
Over the years, as her days got busier, drinking to take the edge off became routine. Now, she's recovering out loud to help women who, now more than ever, are taking a sober look at how much they're drinking and why.
I think what we've seen through the pandemic is a lot of people have been taking a look at their relationship with alcohol. It's amplified how we use alcohol as a form of self-medication, as a form of self-care. And that message is reinforced almost everywhere you go. You've had a long day, pour yourself a glass of wine.
The last year has seen soaring alcohol sales and more binge drinking overall. A StatsCan survey found that in January, nearly 20% of Canadians had consumed the equivalent of a bottle of wine on the days they reported drinking. But women in every age group started drinking more well before the pandemic, catching up to men and in recent years outpacing them.
I think that women tend to drink as a coping mechanism.
Dr. Jennifer Wyman is an addiction specialist at Women's College Hospital in Toronto. The last year, she says, has been a tipping point, especially for some women trying to manage it all.
There continue to be pressures in terms of trying to keep it all together and juggle all of their roles. And there are lots of women who do appear to be getting up and looking after their kids and working and doing everything else and holding it together, but holding on to that secret that they're really sort of counting down until they can pour themselves a drink.
To us, and those who want to be us.
And that countdown is everywhere, from comedy skits to social media memes and female-focused marketing. It's all about pouring a well-deserved reward. Alcohol is framed as a way to bond with friends, relax after a day at work and at home, and as a symbol of power. For working mothers especially, it's also a toast to making it through yet another day. Garber says it was easy to rationalize her drinking. After all, she was just like so many other mothers out there.
I could joke openly about having wine at play dates or, bringing a sippy cup of wine to the playground. It is so prevalent in our culture that it's very easy to have an issue go unnoticed or to really even tell yourself that there is no problem.
But while many women are drinking, fewer seem to be aware how dangerous it is. The alcohol-related health risks alone are staggering, especially the risk of developing breast cancer. And the scary thing is, it doesn't take much.
Women who drink 2 or more drinks per day have a 50% increase in their risk of breast cancer. But even women who drink 3 to 6 drinks a week can see an increase in risk of about 15%.
When you talk to your patients and you bring out those statistics, what's the reaction you get?
Shock, really. I think people are stunned. I think they have no idea and don't recognize that what we might consider to be very modest amounts of alcohol are still really significant from a health perspective.
Okay, that's really good. So
As a life coach in Whitby, Ontario, Alexis McCalla teaches self-awareness.
take the time to emotionally feel.
But she had no idea about the health risks until she started looking at her own drinking.
I went from drinking fairly rarely, so maybe once or twice a month, to in some weeks I was drinking 3 nights a week. Hold on tight.
McCalla started to examine why and realized she was drinking because she was scared. Scared that COVID could hurt the people she loved most.
Once I realized that I was using it as a behavior to numb out, I wanted to learn more about, okay, why were you doing that? What are the effects associated with it? How can you help motivate yourself so that this is no longer a part of your life?
McCalla quit drinking in November. It was a risky crutch, she says, and she resents the mass messaging that women need one.
You're trying to really leverage people's insecurities and emotions and challenges in order to sell a product. And now you're making an assumption that they can't handle their life, so they have to go out and drink. And now you're normalizing it.
Michaela is not the only one questioning her drinking. Across the country, a cultural reckoning of sorts.
Our Facebook group went from 2,000 people to 7,800 in the last year.
Dawn Nickel is based in Victoria, BC. She's the founder of She Recovers, an addictions recovery program that has seen more women reach out than ever before. Women who are drinking a little or a lot.
It's so non-threatening that people are coming in and they're just learning whether or not they even have a problem. So it's convenient. We just talk about, like, what are your goals? What's your intentions? Do you want to slow down? Do you want to stop? Like, you pick it and we'll support you to get there.
She Recovers is one of several programs tailored to women. And with so many now online, finding help is easier than ever.
Do you think the pandemic has had that kind of silver lining, if you will?
I think for sure there's so much support for them now. We're having these conversations for the first time in society around what are we being influenced by and who says we have to have a bottle of wine every evening to unwind.
As for Garber, she reached out for help when her mother was dying, to be present in the time they had left. She felt the pain, but now also feels the joy of living life with a clear head.
I've been on both sides now, and I can say emphatically that life is much better, much more manageable, much easier now that I've learned other coping tools outside of grabbing the glass of wine.
Running has helped her heal, and while the pandemic stripped away the crowds at this race, it also revealed something more.
It's me that has to find the fortitude and resilience to keep going and to keep pushing, even when there is nobody on the streets kind of cheering you on. It's something to be proud of.
It's a sense of empowerment, she says, that doesn't end at the finish line. Joanna Rumiliotis, CBC News, Toronto.